So we're in the heart of the Errazuriz vineyard in Aconcagua, very much kind of towards the Andes. Can you tell me a bit about the Aconcagua terroir here in Panquehue?
Well, this is the original place where the winery was established, Max 1. We have a diversity of terroir with all along the valley, but in this particular place we have the hills with more exposure to sun, and the lower part with more soil and more depth. So we have different styles of soil. This is more clay, so it works very well for Carmeneere. And the upper part with less soil, more stones, is very good for Petit Verdot, for instance. So we have a diversity around here for reds, of course, because we have very good temperature and sunshine. So yeah.
Excellent. And up in the hills, are those kind of alluvial soils, or are they colluvial?
The lower part is alluvial, but rough alluvial because it's the erosion from the creeks.
Okay.
So not really a river. So it's alluvial because of the water of the creeks. And in this area is intrusive rock, so it's a little bit like granite.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
And you've planted in different formations up on the hills. You have some of your kind of head-trained vines. Why have you planted head-trained up on the cerros?
You mean like the
kind of the Rodano, Rhone
Hermitage
exactly.
style. Well, in this area we have some Syrah, so we wanted to replicate that, but also with that system we have quite a lot of shadow, and the fruit is quite covered, so it's good for the keeping the freshness and the fruitiness and the acidity in this weather.
Excellent, fantastic. And then Errazuriz also has, quite an extension across the Aconcagua Valley, so going towards the Costa area. Can you tell us a bit of how that's different? I imagine obviously for the temperatures being closer to the coast, but what are the other kind of terroir secrets of Aconcagua Costa?
Yeah, we have developed the whole valley from the coast to the Andes. And in the coast is cooler. We have the influence of the cool breezes from the Pacific, and we have more cloudiness. So it's very good conditions for cool climate varieties like Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. And there we have a different soil terroir, more like schist or metamorphic rock. And as you go inland, after the coastal range, the influence of the sea is less, so it starts to get warmer, and this is very good for ripening other varieties, Bordeaux varieties, and even farther inland it becomes even hotter, and we can produce Mediterranean varieties like Grenache or Syrah and others. So it's quite big, diverse here. Yeah.
Thank you. And I want to talk about two varieties in particular. So firstly, Cabernet Sauvignon. As a producer for Errazuriz, you make Cabernet here in Aconcagua and also in Maipo. Can you kind of give us a snapshot of what the difference is, how that expresses very differently in the glass?
Well, in Maipo we have a classic terroir of Cabernet alluvial soil with the influence of cool breezes from the Andes, so fantastic place for let's say long soft ripening for Cabernet with a lot of aromatics. In here we have a diversity of terroir from colluvial, more exposure, so the wines with more structured tannin, but we also have vineyards near the Aconcagua River that are alluvial, very similar to Maipo, and they give more freshness and balance and elegance. So we have the mix of the two, but in general here we have a bit more dry conditions and more sun and temperature, so the wines are a little bit, let's say, bigger or richer than the elegance that you find in Maipo.
Perfect. And then my second and last variety is Syrah, because I always think of Errazuriz as quite an important Syrah producer as well. So what's the difference between the Syrah that you produce here in the kind of more Andean or Entre Cordilleras range and the Costa Syrah?
Similar to due to the climate difference. In the coast we have this area that is very cold, so usually the Syrah is a bit more juicy, expressive, lower alcohol with a lot of spiciness, whereas in here you have a bit riper style, richer, with more fruit and a little bit less spice. So it's very interesting the contrast due to climate differences. Yeah.
Excellent, fantastic. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.